Welcome to day 15 of our 21-day prosperity coaching call series, video conference series. Today's mantra is sacred union, but it's also the beginning of week 3. So what we want to think about this week, we've gotten rid of old bad habits, we've put in new mantras, we've started thinking about the other people in our lives that we can impact and brighten the room up with our new prosperity and abundance consciousness. And now as we start co-creating our future, we want to start thinking about partnerships and partners. So if we think about everything that is really great and grand that's been created by humans, it's almost always been in partnership. Doesn't matter what you think about, whether it's the Golden Gate Bridge, the Eiffel Tower, um, even small things like a family are created with others, right? Smaller things. I mean, obviously, it's the building block of humanity, our families, but just things to think about is that partnerships and chosen partnerships as we get to be adults. Obviously, they talk about family and then chosen family, but chosen partnerships. And excuse me. When we think about this mantra today of sacred union, clearly that is how we want to feel about somebody we're married to, right? That it is a sacred union. But you could also extend that to every treasured person in your life, that you could have a sacred union with your child, and each one of them individually, not just you children. Like each one of them you could have this sacred bond with. You could think about that in terms of your partners too, that perhaps you could call people into your life that would create some extraordinary partnerships with you in various things. Like my Earth Gratitude Project, I have 2 people who co-created it with me. There's no chance I could have done it without their help. And same thing launching Women's Investment Network. Couldn't do it without their help. Even now, where it's more of a sole proprietorship, although clearly I still have my webmaster and a lot of other, Heather, a lot of other great individuals associated with it. But, rely upon my conversations with Howard Silverblatt. I'm going to be doing a conversation with him in January. I think it's January 11th for our video conference, one of the Natalie Pace live video conferences, which you can always watch back on youtube.com/Natalie Pace. But each one of these I consider to be sacred to me. And I think that you treat people and things differently when you hold them in that high of a regard. So this came up recently. What I used to do is when I would describe the way I look at my life to others, I would say, look, in my world, in my universe, I'm the sun of my life. And I might have, my sacred beloved people are kind of like the close planets, right? I'm still the center of my life. Your sacred companion could actually be almost in the center of your life too. You're still separate, but you're kind of overlapping a little bit, right? So the people that are truly there, whether it's your husband or your wife, that might be that person where you are making joint decisions together, right? If you don't have somebody that you have to make joint decisions on your life together with, then maybe they're not in that sun with you. And then you have obviously your family, your friends in very close proximity. And then, business partnerships that are sacred to you would be in that close proximity. And then on the outer, it might be other people that you really care about. And then obviously all humanity, all animals, plants, and beings. But there certainly are, and when we talk about the boundaries that we set for ourselves on people that might harm us or hurt us intentionally or unintentionally, I would joke about it and I would say, well, they get to be Uranus, right? Or they get to be Halley's Comet. I only need to see them once a year. I mean, once a lifetime. And honestly, as I As I embody these mantras that I've been teaching you, it's easy to offer love to that person and even be in close proximity for, albeit shorter periods of time, without feeling like your boundaries are being breached. So the stronger that you get a resolve, the more love you can get without feeling like someone can take advantage of you in ways that you're not comfortable with. So I mean, we all have people in our lives that could potentially do that, right? Like, maybe there's somebody who's addicted to drugs and you have to set boundaries for around them, even if you love them very much. Um, you might want to even make sure that they sleep well at night or they eat and, that sort of thing, but you still have to protect yourself. Maybe make sure that, they can't steal from you or something like that. So you have to be aware of that. And obviously, that is not somebody that's going to be making joint decisions with you because that's not you're making joint decisions with drugs rather than people. Um, and that's hard, right? That is hard. But that's what I want to say is that in this process of this 21-day program, it's not a matter of just magical thinking and, oh, yes, I have sacred unions with everybody. It's being clear about who you trust and who you don't. It's being clear about who can be close to you, that there can be that's kind of symbiotic where you're giving them and they're giving to you and they're adding to your life and you're able to wake up feeling rejuvenated because they're in your life versus somebody who is in a position in their own life where all they can feel that they can do is take, right? That can be a little bit draining, and that might be someone that has to be um, you have to have more boundaries with. So, all day today, lean into sacred union and think about those people that you treasure in your life and think about a sacred bond that you have with them and how you might, in small or large ways, let them know how much you treasure them and cherish them and how much you appreciate having that sacred union with them. So, again, when we're talking about all of the things that are leading us up to this point and beyond, we still have to think about, the things we talked about in week 1, more creating more love, creating more peace, creating more gratitude, forgiveness, and the steps that we can take to get to that feeling, obviously not just snapping our fingers and getting there. But today is just about honoring and leaning into our sacred beloved. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.